It's experiment time. Let's make some bacon without a smoker and without nitrites. I'm going to make one using my normal cure rub that uses pink salt, and I'm going to make another one that doesn't use pink salt. And we'll do a side-by-side comparison between the two to see how much of a difference it makes. Because I know some people don't like nitrites, and I know some people don't have access to a smoker. So we are going to cook these ones in the oven. And here I'm just going to mix up my cure rubs, and I have the amounts based on the weight of the meat written on the screen. This first batch is the control. I'm using my standard rub with the pink salt for the curing process. It uses 2% salt, 1% sugar, and 1/4% pink curing salt. And then I put 2% black pepper just for flavoring. When you apply the cure to the meat, make sure you apply it evenly to all sides. You make sure you get the edges and the ends, and use all of the cure rub to ensure that your meat is safe to eat. This process is known as the equilibrium cure, and it puts in exactly the right amount of salt and sugar into the meat to preserve it. Okay, once you get the cure applied, make sure any cure that's left over on the cutting board you dump into the Ziploc bag, and then squeeze out all of the air that you can and seal the bag up, and it goes into the refrigerator for 7 days. Flip the bacon every day for that 7 days. And here I'm going to mix up the cure for the no nitrate rub, and the only difference is this one doesn't have the paint cure, and I increased the salt percentage to 2.5%. Sugar is still at 1%, and it's 2% black pepper. Everything else is the same as the first one, just minus the nitrites. look at that lovely mess of bacon. Here I'm just flipping them over. They've been in the refrigerator for a day. Those larger pieces there are pieces that I'm actually going to smoke. And here I'm just getting the meat out of the bags after 7 days and putting them on a rack inside a cookie sheet so they get even airflow in the oven. I put a toothpick in there to mark which piece of meat is which piece of meat, and I put it on the wrong side. You'll see here in a minute I switch it. I want the fat side up when it goes into the oven. I don't know if you can tell there, but that's quite a bit firmer than it was when it went in to the refrigerator 7 days ago, but I can't tell any difference between the two. And so now I'm putting the bacon into the oven with a heat probe, and I'm setting the oven to 200 degrees and cooking it until it reaches 150 degree internal temperature. Three hours later, we've hit our target temp. So I'm going to take it out of the oven and immediately, as quickly as I can, I'm going to wrap it in plastic wrap to hold the moisture in. And then I will let it cool to room temperature before putting it back in the refrigerator overnight. Time to slice the bacon. This is the control with the cure salt. It's been in the refrigerator overnight, so it's pretty firm. Makes it fairly easy to slice. But it's bacon. It's not really easy to slice to get it really thin with a knife. One of these days I'll get a slicer. Okay, there you can see it's got a nice pink color to it. That's the nitrates doing their thing. So now I'm just going to slice the no cure, no nitrate bacon. This actually surprised me a little bit. There's not much of a difference between the two. The other one may be just a hair pinker, but I can't tell a difference much at all. So now I'm going to cook the bacon. I'm going to put it in a toaster oven at 400 degrees, cook it for 20 minutes, flipping halfway through. All right, 20 minutes later, the bacon comes out. And again, I'm a little surprised. I can't really tell a difference between the two of them. And when I taste it, I'm actually surprised that it seems a little saltier than my normal bacon does that goes through the smoker. But flavor-wise, there's not a difference between them. I can't tell a difference flavor-wise between the two. I made smoked bacon at the same time I made this using the exact same process. And that bacon was not as salty as this bacon does. I don't know what the smoke does to change the salt content, flavor, the salt levels, but it's definitely less salty than cooking it in the oven. But this is still fantastic bacon. And if it's really cold in the wintertime, I will definitely be using this. The only thing I can think of that, for me, using the nitrates is probably a good idea, because I end up making bacon and storing it for a month, sometimes 6 weeks. So the nitrites in there will help preserve it. But if you're just making a small amount and you just want, you're going to eat it up pretty quick, there's no reason to use the pink salt that I can see. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe. See ya.